Well, welcome YouTube friends and family to today's crafting edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So you may notice kind of in a different spot than I usually am. So I'm actually sitting in my great room between my two cabinets I keep my home canning in, but I wanted to show you something that I very much treasure that I did bring home from my mom's. So let me tip you up here and show you this gorgeous painting that was done by my one and only sister, Terry, and it's dated on the back 1982. Mom chose not to take it to the facility because of limited wall space, etc. So I just assumed my sister would want it. It's her art, right? And she was like, no, if you want it, you can have it. So I've always loved this picture. And let me stand up here and show you. I have put my Crosley record player and my vintage 50s teal bar stool here in this little alcove. So I'm really loving it. One of the things that I have learned that I just kind of wanted to share with you is, wow, it is super easy to end up with a lot of stuff. So I had brought home various and sundry boxes, honestly, of things from my mom. And I would go through them, I would enjoy them, and then I would pack them up and I would take them back for the estate sale. Because my house is pretty full. And I do have one son. Y'all have heard me talk about Ben. He's 37. And he is diligently saving to buy a house. Well, as kids do, and I'm sure I did it to my parents. There's a lot of Ben stuff still here, which I will not get rid of, that he does want, that is useful. Furniture, oh Lord, y'all, there's just a lot of stuff, right? I did bring some furniture from my mom's for him that my dad wanted him to have. So I am systematically, when I'm not working at mom's, kind of going through things, and I have a huge amount for donation. Then some things I have taken to my mom's for the estate sale folks, or it's actually an auction. It's an estate sale auction. What they are going to do is they are going into the home as soon as we finish up. Our deadline is Tuesday, and we're really close, guys. We'll finish this weekend. They're going to box everything up, household goods, whatever, and take that on to their warehouse in preparation for the auction, which probably won't happen until end of March, 1st of April, just because they have to get on the venue list and there are folks ahead. So that will provide my mom some extra money for her care going down the road, and it also has the dual purpose of helping me divest myself of some things that I don't really need around here. So I also want to say to you all, I know I haven't even been doing my subscriber shout outs because you all are wonderful. The comments, and I'm not going to cry today. I'm not in a crying mood today. I think I pretty much cried it all out. The comments, you guys, the sweet emails. I am going to say, give a subscriber shout out, use my words, to Lorraine. Lorraine, you have been with me since almost, I think, day one, pretty much. Or you might have come from Homestead to see, but you have been on my channel a very long time. And I had a really rough day, guys. Oh no, I might cry. The hardest thing for me is things that were my father's, and it has nothing to do with not loving my mother, but I was very close to my dad, and my dad's been gone 11 years, and my dad was a man of few valuable possessions. That's how my dad rolled, right? So those little things that were his, wow, I just cry every time I see them. And I don't even know why I cry, because I have grieved for my dad. It's just emotional. Let's just put it that way. So before I start crying, on a day that I had gone through a lot of my dad's things, Lorraine, you sent me a card, and that card meant the world to me. Okay, let me take a drink and distract myself so I don't cry. So to Lorene and all of you, you are all being shouted out today for being great subscribers because you've kept me going. You've been patient on the days I can't get a video up. And one thing I've learned also, the second thing I've learned, I am no spring chicken anymore, guys. I have always been a very physically active person that works very hard. I love to work hard. I love to be tired from working hard. I know that's very strange, but I just can't do it like I used to do it. By 2 o'clock, I am toast. And thankfully, I have had help, which I could not have done this without my sister. She has come in after I moved Mom and helped me, and we work like a well-oiled machine. And without her, I could not have gotten this done. So I'm very grateful that I've had some help because that has made it so much easier. A few of you have asked how Mom is doing. So I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to say this, and you are going to be like, oh, you said that about your mom? But yeah, I'm going to say it about my mom. My mom is a diva. My mom is very entitled. My mom has been very spoiled her entire life. My mom is not an easy person. Do I love my mom? Absolutely. Do I always like how she acts? Absolutely not. So I have been the recipient, I won't say victim, of her anger of being moved to assisted living. And it's not been easy. That's one of the reasons I haven't done any, well, not any videos, but I've done less videos or shorter videos because I'm mentally drained. And I think in one video, I'm like, I've lost my mind. I haven't lost my mind. It's just been very, very difficult at best. Is Mom doing well? Mom is doing absolutely fine. She has everything she needs. She is just extremely demanding and extremely entitled. I guess entitled is a good word. So, all that aside, again, I want to thank you for your patience. And I decided this morning, in spite of having a million things to do, that I was going to do something for myself. So I put a community post up about stress laxing, and I do have a hard time relaxing, guys. I always have. I probably always will. It's just not, I like to be busy. I like to have a lot going on. I love a good project. And that served me well in my career, but it's not serving me as well in retirement because I can't relax very well. But I do relax when I'm doing crafts. I do relax when I'm listening to my Audible books while I'm doing other things. So I am going to rearrange everything here. I'm going to take you over, and we are going to work on a wreath for spring. Now, before we start, so I don't forget to say this, I will leave a link in the description box below, not only to where I purchased this wreath kit, but to as many supplies as I think are relevant to this craft from Amazon to my Amazon affiliate store. Lori over at Hardworking Mom has a YouTube channel, so I will shout out and leave a link to her channel. She straight up makes wreaths and bows and all of that, has a huge business, lives in the Southeast, I think North or South Carolina, I can't remember which. But I saw this kit and I'm like, I totally need it because, guys, I'm embarrassed to say, I might still have a Christmas wreath on my front door. So her products are super high quality, very fair pricing. I don't know if this specific kit is still available, but she has so many cute ones. Like I'm like, how many wreaths can one person have? I have a lot, guys, a lot. I've made a lot, I'll put it that way. So I'm going to have one for spring and one for summer and one for fall and 14 for Christmas. So let's get into this wreath. Stay tuned. I forgot to mention, guys, don't think I haven't washed my hair. I just, my hair is still wet. I have been just putting it up wet because I don't have time to blow it dry, so please excuse. So I'm going to tip you down. You're not going to be able to see my face, but you don't need to see my face for this, and show you the materials that are included in the kit and how we're going to use them. So yeah, I need to tip you down. Short girl problems. All right. So the first thing in the kit is, of course, the wreath base. And what I love about Hardworking Mom's wreath kits is they are 2 levels. So it gives a lot of dimension and fullness to your wreath. And also, they're not just using chenille stems, or as I would call them, pipe cleaners. It's actually like artificial Christmas tree stems. So very, very sturdy. So once you get your wreath together, it's not going to come apart. There are 10 ties on the outside, 8 on the inside. And this is what we'll be building our wreath on. Next, you get 2 rolls of mesh. So this is a lovely, like Caribbean blue, almost to a teal, and a beautiful pink, very spring-like. And then you will get 4 colors of ribbon. Now, I've already cut all my mesh and ribbon. So we have a floral, a same color blue with like a black plaid almost. Really, really cute together. The other set is a pink, teal, and blue with a pink ribbon. And I think I've used this ribbon in something else. You always get adequate materials to do several different designs, which I really, really like. You can make your decision when you actually see your materials, how you want to do this. All right, so the sign, isn't this cute? Instead of welcome home, it says welcome gnome. Perfect match to all of the ribbons and everything else. And then you will also get instructions. And you will see on her YouTube channel a lot of times, let me scooch down, she will have made the wreath. So this particular one I haven't seen, but guys, I haven't had a lot of time to watch television. So there are actually 4 options of how you can build the wreath. The one that I'm going to do today is called a Woodland Ruffle. So it's basically a ruffle where it has 2 curls on each end, and when you ruffle it together, it's very, very full. I thought that would be lovely for spring. So I'm not going to show you the entire process because you guys would fall asleep and I wouldn't blame you. What I'm going to do is show you how to get started, and then we will either speed it up or I'll bring you back. So the first thing you want to do is you always want to start on the outside of your wreath, and you want to open up your ties. So let's say, oh, I don't want to order a kit, or I already have a wreath. You can certainly use pipe cleaners and just tie them around your wire frame. Do you have to use a 2-level frame? No. This will just make your wreath a lot fuller. So I'm going to set that aside, and what I have here is I cut my mesh together. So there are 2 pieces. So let me first separate them. And guys, I don't know if you can hear Frankie. He's chowing down in the background, so please excuse. Okay, so where are my, what did I do with my scissors? Oh, sometimes I put things away too quickly. So I'm just gonna weight down one end with the scissors. Pull back here. And I'm just gonna start rolling the mesh, and I'm going to do about 3 turns. Then I'm going to take these Dollar Tree clothespins, pinch that off. I'm gonna turn the whole piece of mesh around. I'm going to do the same thing on this end. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to push with my thumbs, pull with my fingers, and I'm going to gather this up just like so. Let go. The mesh is kind of picky, so it does have a tendency to stick to itself. So what we have here is like a big bow, but there is a curl here. You can see the tube, and a curl here on both ends. Now, one thing I do need to decide, I'm gonna do the same thing with the pink one, because I need to decide which ribbons go with which. I think I know, but just in case. So, another clip, and again, let's go 1, 2, 3. flip it. And same thing, 1, 2, and 3. Push with your thumbs, pull with your fingers. Replace your clip, and we have a second. Now, I think I'm going to go with the blue with the blue and the pink with the pink, because I think that's just, yeah. Okay, that was an easy decision. Sometimes, depending on your ribbon, you may want to even contrast, and it wouldn't look bad once it's all together. Now, you could do all your poofs and put them on, then go back and put on all your ribbon. I much prefer just to do it all at once. So what I've done is, out of each of the 4 ribbons, I have cut 9 12-inch pieces. I'm going to lay the thinner ribbon, the 1.5 inches on top of the 2.5 inch. I'm going to fold it in half, find the middle, and this is wired ribbon if I did not already say that. And I am going to take the entire, well, this is where you wish you had another hand, right? The ruffle and the bow. Ooh, and hopefully not let it go, guys. Sorry, I'm chasing it. Okay, let's not do that. Let me secure this first. There we go. And refold this. I'm doing a sloppy job already. And I'm going to twist this tightly. Now, because this is such a pretty foofy thing, I'm not going to cut it off. You could use wire cutters and cut it off. What I like to do is roll it in like this, but I'm not going to do that yet because I may choose with some of my extra ribbon to make little bows. So you want everything on the bottom row to be pushing down, because when you start to add the second row, it's going to push it down anyway. So let's do the same thing here with the pink. You want to lift up your previous mesh, give this a twist or two, put the smaller ribbon on top of the bigger ribbon, line them up, and tie it down. And because these ribbons are wired, you can then just curl them over your hand like this, smooth them out, and you want to kind of lock the mesh together. So I'm going to leave the curls free and just meet up the mesh in the middle. And this will make your wreath look much more finished than if you just leave them willy-nilly, if that's a word. It gives it a lot more volume. So I'm going to keep working. I will bring you back when I have finished row 1 and talk about how we do row 2. Stay tuned. All right, we have the 10 curls and ribbons on the outside, and we are ready to start on the inside. So it gets a little busy in here, but the first thing you want to do is open up all of your ties so that you can see your workspace. So as you see, it's going to push down that first row, and at the end you can do a lot of fluffing as well. Okay, I lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next, you're going to do the same thing you did on the outside. We are going to create our Woodland Ruffle mesh curls. We will add our ribbon. The only difference is we will bring one piece of ribbon to the top with the contrasting ribbon to the bottom on one side, and then the other side of the tie, you will do the same thing just to bring in more fullness to the center. So I'm going to keep working. I will bring you back when we have the entire wreath meshed and ribboned to talk about what next steps are. So as you see, this is a very full wreath when you finish the inside. So I wanted to share with you how you can make this little bow detail at the bottom. So I did not close up the twist ties. I simply cut a 12-inch piece of ribbon. I will overlap the two ends, fold it in half, scrunch it, twist it tightly down, and then with these ends, because they're pink and they're pretty, I'm just kind of rolling them in to secure it. Fluff your bow loops. Straighten your ribbon. And I am going to do this all the way around the bottom. I am not going to do it in the middle because we still have a sign to place and to decide if we want a bow. Now this is probably getting to be close to a foot tall. I may have to smoosh it just a little bit, but it's making a gorgeous, very springy wreath. It's making me want to eat Peeps. So drop me a comment below. Am I the only person left in the universe that loves the Marshmallow Peeps candy? I get so excited for Peeps season. All right, look how gorgeous this wreath is. Is that beautiful, or what? I'm hitting my baskets hanging above. So now you have some decisions to make regarding your sign. I think given how foofy this wreath is, my preference, and let me hold it up, is right in the middle. You can do it off to the side, you can do it at the top, you can do it at the bottom, but I think in the middle is going to be my best bet. So let me just share with you a couple tools and tell you how I do this. So this is actually a metal punch. It's like a teeny weeny hole punch, but it's much stronger than your average punch. I also like to use this, I don't know what gauge, thin gauge wire. So, you know, very flexible to wire the sign to the frame, and to feed it through, I'm going to be using a large plastic needle. And again, you can buy all these supplies at hardworkingmom.com. And if I can find it on Amazon, I will link it there for you as well. I'm hunting a Sharpie. All right, so let me see. This is a 9-inch sign. So I'm going to make a dot at 4.5 inches, just so I don't get it uneven. And you could wire it at the top or at the sides, either way. So you simply take your metal punch, line it up with the dot you just made, and I'll show you what kind of a hole it creates. I have used an awl. You don't have to have this tool. It just makes such a clean little tiny hole. So the hole is right here. I don't even know if you can see it because it's kind of in the plaid part. So I will then take wire. More wire is better than not enough wire. Let me just tell you that. I'm just going to use a little pair of wire cutters to save my scissors. Oh, maybe. Guys, my hands are so awful. One of you had asked, and I think it was Kimberly, and Kimberly, if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry, if I would do a tutorial on how, like, I do my fancy nail manicures. Guys, my hands look so bad, I would be ashamed. So, yeah, I've had a few tragedies, and I don't want to stick my middle finger up, but my nails are awful from all of the packing, cleaning, washing. Yeah, not good. So, will I do a nail tutorial? I absolutely will when I have some nails to do it with. Oh, goodness. All right. So I'm just going to cut the couple pieces of wire, and then I'll just show you this really, really quick, and then we'll get on to the bow and we'll be done. So I just feed this through the hole. So we've got the sign hanging, and then you want to hold the wire and twist the sign because you want it to tighten down. It may take you a few times twisting around depending on where you're holding it. Okay, so now we have it very secure. I am going to do that top and bottom. Then I will feed both of these wires through the eye of this plastic needle. I will poke it through the middle of the wreath and then just wind it around the frame in the back, the middle frame. So super easy to attach. I never thought I needed this needle thing. Oh my gosh, guys, it's super cheap and it is so much easier. Pardon me. Excuse me. So much easier than, you know, trying to fish the wires through and they get hung up in the mesh, etc., etc. So, yes, my allergies have been terrible in the middle of winter because I'm stirring up so much dust and, you know, just old things, you know. Every time I go to the antique store, I suffer the same fate. So there must be a degree of mold there too. So I'm just gonna twist this other side. All right, let me get this attached. I will bring you back to show you what it looks like, and then we'll get on to deciding whether or not to make a bow. This is going to be one over-the-top foo-foo wreath. So I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm gonna make a bow. So hang tight. So one of my strong recommendations is to go ahead and hang the wreath on a door. And you can see I'm through down here. This is actually my front door hanger. And I can tell you guys, this is about 1 foot deep. There is no way this will fit between my front door and my storm door. So this is gonna grace my kitchen, which I love. And even though it's pretty over the top, I think it does need a bow right here. So let me turn the camera around and we will start working on a simple bow to kind of fill in and balance out this wreath. So you do not have to have this device to make a bow. You can simply make it, hold it in your hand as you make it, but this makes it so much easier, guys. It really does. I also want to share an inexpensive little gadget. This is made by Fiskars. It is a scissor sharpener. So what you do is you stick your scissors in the hole, so you're going through it, and like you're cutting, squeeze and pull back, squeeze and pull back. I go through so many pairs of scissors, making them dull because I'm cutting through wired ribbon. So this, guys, this little device, my son got me this for Christmas because I think he's tired of buying me scissors for Christmas every year. It has really sharpened scissors amazingly well, and I'm getting a lot longer life out of a pair of scissors. All right, so we have 4 colors of ribbon. We could use all 4. We don't have to. I usually like to use all 4. And what I like to do is alternate the 2 colors that match together. So a fat ribbon, a skinny ribbon, a fat ribbon, and finish with the thinner ribbon. The thing you need to decide is whichever bow is on the top is going to show as a predominant color. So I am going to use the teal on top, hoping it will help me get motivated to do the kitchen. So how do you make a bow? And I just realized, guys, I need my zip ties. And I know I have them. Oh, yes. I have a whole bag of them. So let me grab one of those out. So you will need a zip tie to tie your bow up tightly together. You're going to need some wire to wire it to the frame on the wreath. Scissors. That's really about it. It's pretty simple. So this little device, and I understand there's a newer version. This works fine for me. What you do is you scoot your ribbon between the 2 pegs so it's going to hold it tight. And then you decide how long do you want the tails. And since this is kind of an over the top, I'm going to go about that long, about 1 foot. Now, if I just looped the ribbon this way, it would be inside out. So you do have to twist your ribbon as you're making the loops. So we're gonna make this, it's a big wreath, so we're gonna make big loops to start. So I'm gonna do about a 7-inch loop. And once you get some material on here, it's not nearly as floppy and flimsy, but there is a measuring gauge on here. And then I also have the measuring gauge here on my cutting mat. So again, I'm going to twist. I'm going to go out to the 7-inch mark. Maybe. Because you do want your bow loops to be fairly even. Now, I could stop there, cut a tail, but I have a lot of ribbon, and that is a big wreath, so let's go ahead and do one more set of these big loops. I have plenty of ribbon to do so. All right, I will pull a tail down, just eyeballing here, make it about even with the last, still have ribbon left over. And I'm gonna go ahead and what they call dovetail, I've heard it called fishtail. Basically all you do, ooh, I need to sharpen those a little better, is make an angular cut so that you have a V. Not required. You can leave them straight. You can cut them just on an angle, but I like the dovetail or fishtail. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with a thinner ribbon and kind of do the same thing we just did. So slide it through, decide on a length. This ribbon, really, you can't tell right side out so much from inside out, but for the sake of consistency, I am gonna twist it. I also think it makes it a little easier to keep your bow together. I have made many bows where I get so far and then when I try to take it off, I let it slip and come undone. So don't be frustrated, just keep working with it. You've got this. Okay, so we're gonna do, I think just 2. I don't want it to be so fat that it's way, way over the top. And I think it is easier to dovetail as you go along. Sometimes with the thinner ribbon too, I like to just roll it up like this, and because it's wired, it will stay. And then you pull it from the center and just make like a curlicue like this. And in that case, you don't need to dovetail your ribbon. So I think that's what I'm gonna do with this one. And we still have 2 more types of ribbon. If you really wanted to just bring out the pink and you didn't want such a big foofy bow, you could stop here. You know, that's one of the things I enjoy about wreath making. You can make it as extra as you want, or if you're more of a minimalist, hard word to say, you can do that too. Okay, now I'm gonna start with the teal floral ribbon. And again, I'm gonna make the tail just a little shorter so that you can see the different colors. I'm gonna twist my ribbon. And this time, instead of a 7-inch loop, I'm gonna do 6. And I know y'all can't see the measurements, but they're on here. They're both on the top and on the side, so it makes it really, really easy. But you do wanna get them relatively even. Okay, and I am going to do 4 on this as well. All 6-inch or close to it. If you need to make adjustments, make them now, guys, because once you get a lot of ribbon on here, it's hard. And our last loop, just line them up. And I'm going to cut this off. We'll dovetail the ends. I wish y'all could have seen when I was putting the wreath together. Frankie's been worried about his mom. For those of you who are new, my son's cat is Siamese and has a very human sounding voice and calls me mom, and so Frankie does too. But he laid like right in the middle of everything I was trying to do, to the point where I was not a happy mom. Okay, final ribbon. So this one, I'm gonna make a longer tail, again, kind of like the first. And this time, I do need to twist this. I'm gonna go about 5 inches on the final bow. So I'm using the guide on the side that y'all can't see. Turn. Now at this point, we've got a lot of bulk on here, so you kind of have to push. Do I want 1 or 2 of those? I think I want 2. Why not, right? If you're gonna make a extra wreath, it needs to be, I think I've got enough ribbon. It needs to be really extra. I do think this is going to be quite lovely, would make an amazing gift. I haven't mentioned the price. I believe this kit was $48, I believe. All right. Now, how are we gonna get it off here in one piece? Well, I have here just a clear zip tie. I'm going to slide it carefully under all of these, and I'm just barely going to latch it. Don't pull it tight. Then I'm going to pull off the entire section of ribbon, and you can see where it was squeezed. I'm gonna line that zip tie up to the middle, swing it down to the back, and pull her tight. Real tight. Now you can spend a little time doing what they call breaking the bow. So you're just basically fluffing and kind of pull and twist, because it's been all bunched up in the center, and this will give your bow a lot of volume. Like this. So I don't bore y'all to death. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause here. I'm going to finish shaping my bow. I'm gonna wire it to the wreath the same way that I did the sign, and then I will bring you back to show you the very final wreath and give you some closing thoughts. So stay tuned. Time for the big reveal. So I apologize for the glare. I don't know really how to get rid of that. My house is kind of dark. It's a little overcast today, very, very chilly. But is this not lovely, guys? Does this not put you in the mind of spring? I don't know how to get rid of that glare. If I turn off my ring light, okay, there you go. Maybe that's better. And it looks a lot more light green than it really is. It's very teal. I just absolutely love this, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you. Let me flip the light back on. For all the kind comments, the time you spend watching my videos. My channel is growing by little bitty bits. I appreciate each one of you new subscribers. Welcome. I am very glad that you're here. So this video will go up for tomorrow, which is Saturday. Guys, I don't know what the next week is going to bring. I just don't. A word about the pantry challenge. Guys, I have just been cooking. I haven't had time to grocery shop, which is a very good thing. I have just been cooking from my pantry. It has really been a good thing. I think I'm going to keep going and kind of get some of my stores down just a little bit further, because I'm still very well stocked. I perhaps have enough toilet paper for over a year, which might be a bit excessive. So anyway, I want to thank you again. Don't forget, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button. If you're here watching the video and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Ring the bell to be notified of all the new uploads. I try to upload a video for every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. It's usually up at 4 a.m. Eastern. And as always, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and I will see you all very soon. Take care.